Yo, what's up, everyone? I just want to give everyone a heads up. This episode was recorded about a couple months ago before the start of the season when I originally planned on releasing the podcast, but unfortunately, I was not able to do that. But yeah, some of the scores, standings, player situations may have changed since then. Nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoy the first episode of Offside Fans. Let's get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first episode of Offside Fans, the show by the fans, for the fans, and all about the beautiful game. I'm Just a Martian, and I'm beyond excited to kick things off with you today. This is where football comes alive through your eyes. Today, on the very first episode of Offside Fans, we have a very special guest joining us, a three-time Olympian representing Egypt, 2019 Junior World number 1, and 2024 Senior World number 3, Mr. Mohamed Hamza. How are you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for having me on the show.
Of course.
Excited.
Of course. I'm glad to have
Football
you here.
talking.
You're a massive Liverpool fan as well, as I've heard. Got the Liverpool jersey on. I see you. Can you tell us who's on the back real quick? Who you got on there?
Oh, we got
the man himself. Okay. I like it. Perfect.
On the team. Perfect.
Nice, man. I'm glad to have you as the first special guest, of course, to kick things off here with this show. Hopefully, we'll have you on here more often as well. But
Sure.
With you here to start it off as a Liverpool fan, I'm glad to have you here. And we'll just get right into it, man. Let's start with the first question, okay? The big one that most fans, kind of need to know, or just to answer, supporting a team. What made you fall in love with your club in the first place, with Liverpool FC?
Good question. So when I was a kid, mainly the only way I would know about football was like through FIFA or my dad. And my dad always, supported all the big clubs like Bayern, Barcelona. Didn't really watch the Prem much, which surprised me. But then I think through playing through FIFA, and then I also have family members. The only people in my family that watch soccer, they all love Chelsea. So I was a little brainwashed to like Chelsea at first. But for some reason, I don't know what it was, what it was about, like, the Jose Mourinho era and the whole Park the Bus gang. And I just didn't like the way they played. I genuinely did not like the way they played.
That's understandable. Yeah.
So I started, searching myself, started watching when I became more aware, watching more games on my own. I think the nice thing is that my dad didn't really watch the Prem that much. So I was able to watch that with my, my own kind of vision, see what I liked about it and everything. And could have been easy for me to just go with, top dogs at the time.
Yeah.
City were kind of getting better, Chelsea were winning it. Arsenal were in top 4 regularly, playing good football. United was good, not so much now, but I don't know what it was. I think it was like Liverpool. At the time, I remember the team when I was watching it. They had back when we had Raheem Sterling and the Suarez, good old Suarez days, Stevie G. There was something about the way that they played that I kind of really
that fast pace pressing.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
They were very, it was very end-to-end games. And being, a young 13-year-old, was when I started really getting into football. That's just what really I really engaged with the most. I liked the most. It was a time where I was I kind of liked also Arsenal for the way they played, very intricate passes, very good plays, very well thought out goals and assists and everything like that. It was pretty football, but it wasn't the same kind of intensity, the same kind of rawness that Liverpool had.
I agree.
And I just think they had a lot more standout players that made it big. They made moments out of nothing, which was just exciting to watch as a kid.
Nice.
So
Nice.
that's really the origin story,
That is,
before. A lot of people think I was supporting them because Mohamed Salah went there, but no.
that's what most people think with Egyptians, man. They think, because Mohamed Salah is there, I'm gonna have to support him now. But no, your story is actually, you had your way of thinking. You saw the teams that were good, and you wanted to make your own assessment of what team you really liked, and that's how you
That-
came about to supporting Liverpool, which is a very nice story, man. I'm glad you shared that with us today. Nice. Now on to the next one. You know, this is another big one. Who's your favorite all-time player on your team, and why? It could be past, it could be present, it could be anybody from Liverpool. But who is that one player that made you fall in love, I guess, with the club to this day?
I would start off with Stevie G. I mean, it has to. This guy turned down so many clubs just to continue with us. We're talking top tier clubs. Jose Mourinho tried to sign him 3 times.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he could have gone abroad. He could have won a ton of trophies, but he decided to stick.
We could have had him next to Lampard, but you know.
I know.
Yeah.
But, you know, loyalty alone, and the fact that he stayed with us his whole career, and that he was a captain and like he led by example. He like really understood the game in midfield. You know, box to box, energetic. He made a few mistakes here and there, but you know, he always came back, rose to the occasion.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what Liverpool's about. It's about putting in the effort, you know, playing the game the right way, the honest way, you know.
Nice.
And then using the crowd, Anfield crowd to, you know, get behind you and really play well. So I think Stevie G is like the main core of what really, like, you know, got me really interested. Really, like, I kind of understood the values of Liverpool through him first.
Yeah.
And then now I'd say like favorite player, you know, that's transformed the club. Obviously, a bunch of other players that have helped them too, but Mohamed Salah, of course.
Mohamed Salah, man. Yeah.
Premier League all-time great. It's fun watching him, you know.
He's
just turning out goals, dribbles, making the game, you know, playing the game differently every year as well, which is like, it's nice to see the progression.
Yeah.
And he's been a mainstay at the club for 9 years now, so. Pretty nice.
This is a question off topic, or not off topic, off of the script, basically. Would you say he's the greatest winger in the Premier League, in the Premier League era, in the Premier League history? Would you say Mohamed Salah is the greatest winger? For me, I think he is, man. I honestly, I was a big Hazard debate when it comes to who's the greatest winger. You know, Hazard, Ronaldo's in there too. But this man just keeps winning, bro. This man keeps winning. He won another PFA Players of the Year trophy recently, like a couple days. Yeah, a record 3 times now, right? Something like that. He keeps winning. He keeps winning league titles. He won the Champions League. He's been scoring every season 20 plus goals. I feel like he is, but I wanted to know from you. Do you think he's the greatest winger in the Premier League?
I think so, especially winger, because I don't think there's a winger. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's a winger that has produced the numbers that he's produced. You know, in terms of like games and appearances, you know, goals per 90, goals in general. He has more goals, like goal contributions, than games at Anfield, which is like crazy.
That's insane.
He's not a winger. He's not a striker. He's a winger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he hasn't even touched the striker position. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And for him to do that and to score on every single opening day of the season and to just consistently, he's 33 years old, I think now, and to still be, you know, churning out really good results, really good performances. I mean, it's like there's the longevity itself speaks.
The longevity is crazy, man. It's crazy.
It's crazy,
and it doesn't even look like he's slowing down.
That's great.
Doesn't even look like.
No, I don't think so either. I think that there might be a little bit of a transition period this season because we brought a lot of new players. You know, we saved up from years before.
Yeah.
So brought a lot of new players. So he might be changing in terms of like the system that he plays and how much of the share of the goals are on his end. But I think he'll still be just as important. You know, if he's not scoring, he's assisting. If he's not assisting, he's playing the pass or creating the space for the pass and the goal to happen. So he's always very pivotal in every single movement
category. And that's something that I respect him for, because when he first joined Liverpool, or you know, as coming on the scene in Liverpool, he was basically a goal scorer. He could score from everywhere, right? He wasn't really known as a creator, as a passer, as an assister, and then he started adding that to his repertoire, and he's been assisting. You know, last season he had 18 assists. He almost touched the record that was set by Thierry Henry. He
would have. weren't for a few strikers we have, it's high.
With the strikers that you guys had too. It's insane. And I also respect Liverpool Football Club, man, because they could have easily not continued to build around him, and the fact that they keep building around him as he ages to try to extend his longevity, extend his career, and try to like basically milk as many good years out of him as possible is something that I wish more clubs did. You know, kind of like Barcelona. You know, when they had Messi, I wish they found a way to keep, you know, building around him to get him those Champions Leagues. But yeah, that's the longevity, man, and it speaks highly of his character, of his legacy that he's leaving at Liverpool. All right, on to the next.
Top tier.
On to the next question that I have, man. What's your favorite memory or moment as a fan, as supporting the club? You know, it could be a game, it could be, you know, signing someone, it could be, you know, you having a special moment going to the stadium or watching a game if you did, something like that makes you it's a memory that sticks with you. Like for me, I'll give you an example. For me was the Champions League final against Bayern Munich as a Chelsea fan. Drogba, you know, coming out of nowhere to save the game with that insane header in the 90th minute, I believe, something like that, after Thomas Muller scored in the 85th minute or 88th minute. It was a very late game, and him coming out with that bullet header against Manuel Neuer, and you know, scoring the penalty that won the Champions League, the first Champions League we've ever had. That was something that will always stick with me as a Chelsea fan. So yeah, on to you, man. What you got for us?
I mean, definitely the comeback that we had against Barcelona, Champions League semifinal. being down 3-0 and then winning it, you know, 4 is crazy in one game, and to do it at home as well is great. And it is even like highlighted even more because we ended up winning that Champions League season.
Yeah.
So having that as part of the story to getting to the final and then winning the final is just legendary. I don't think there's been a match that's been as important, as big of a gap against that level of opposition that we've done like to this.
Especially with the
and then also like high key, the team that we fielded wasn't our best team.
It wasn't. You had injuries going into that second leg. That was a very. I remember the Mo had a shirt on the Salah. What was it? The I believe or something like that. He had a shirt that's like on the sideline that he was wearing, saying he basically believes in a comeback. And we
were playing with Divock Origi instead of Bobby, which obviously, you know, they're both great players, but Bobby is the main starter.
But man, Origi ended up getting you that.
Scored important goals.
Yeah. All right, nice. That's a good one.
Yeah. It's magic, and you know, we were ruthless. You know, if you look at like some of they won't ever show it in the highlights, but like some of our players were quite aggressive. They did not give any respect to the Barcelona players. I think that really, you know, plus the Anfield, you know, environment,
Anfield
atmosphere.
Vibe, man. That Anfield crowd, the Anfield energy is top tier. I hope I can get to go to a game one day in Anfield, possibly Liverpool against Chelsea. I would love to see that, just to experience that crowd, because that crowd is wild. All right, nice. Let's go on to the next question that I have here. If you could change one thing about your club right now, could be ownership, manager, transfers, kits, what would it be?
I think the club's very well run. I mean, we've spent around like 250 million this summer. We didn't spend anything last year. And from what I've heard through FFP rules, we can still spend another 200 million. So that is crazy. And at the same time, our net spend is under like 50 million right now, which means we're selling very well. We're selling players like our academy players that like had, in my opinion, no like real big future with the way that Liverpool's going for like 20 to 30 million.
Yeah.
So quite impressive numbers. So I think like management I wouldn't change. Manager right now, Arne Slot, is fantastic. Understands the league, understands the players, understands how to manage a workload. Like we have had significantly less injuries with him in the team as opposed to like previous seasons. I think one thing I would change is like something that's a bit worrying is our center back situation.
Mhm.
We have Van Dijk, who's got 2 more years, and I think after that he's expiring as a player completely. um, but like he'll be very good for the next 2 years. I think he just he's lost that yard of pace.
Yeah, dude, I don't know if you saw that
And
meme of the goal. That's the menu.
yeah, that's Mourinho goal. Defending with aura, he just was running around, not doing any
Just going
tackles.
the other side.
Because as soon as he commits, he's gonna get run past. So
Yeah.
it's all about positional play, which is good for a high line. But
Yeah.
then we need like a backup center back. And right now, our second center back is Konate. He hasn't signed a contract extension, so he's set to expire this year. And there's rumors that he'll go to Madrid, Madrid will take him for free. They always do that.
They always do. They did
So-
that with us with Rudiger, man. So
Yeah.
they're known for that.
Yeah. So I think we just signed some 18-year-old center back who I've seen videos of him bodying Lukaku, which is like impressive.
What's
So,
his name?
I think
If you know.
I'm not sure though. Check it up real quick.
If not, it's okay. But yeah, as long as you're aware of. So you said an 18-year-old center back, right? I mean those.
Yes. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure what his name is, but
Well, that's
he
good.
played in Italy.
Okay.
So Italy is very well known for its
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. Actually, I've seen Fabrizio Romano
yeah.
talk about him.
And then we're in talks right now to get Gahey. So if we get him, that'd be great. But I think there's a discrepancy on the price. And then we have Joe Gomez. But he's like he's a mix between he's not like a starting center back. I wouldn't want him to start in like a Champions League match,
Yeah.
like quarterfinal or anything. But I think for a couple league matches, he's fine. But I think with Konate maybe leaving, with Van Dijk kind of finishing his career pretty soon, we need that next generation of center backs to come in, and center back for us is very important because we play a high line.
Yeah.
We're always exposed. Right now, we now have 2 new fullbacks. They don't cut in. They bomb forward. So our wing space is completely open. So we need agile defenders.
Yeah.
We need young defenders who will stay durable. Probably won't get injured too much. We'll be able to play like 50 to 60 matches a season. So I think that's the one thing that worries me that I would change about the club. I think everything else is perfect.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Yeah, because based on the first game, that's basically what was happening. You guys were hit basically in transition, both of the goals in the comeback. So it does worry some Liverpool fans about the center back position. But do you think Gahey would be an upgrade to Konate?
I think honestly, I think the similar levels.
Okay.
I think Konate, like Gahey's quick, good aerial presence, very good positioning, understands how to play the game. Plays with England, plays with Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace have been improving.
They look really good.
Yeah, and from what I've heard and seen, he's a very good leader. So I think he'll be able to demand respect from the back line, from the midfielders, pretty quickly. It won't take him that much time. I think he'll work well with Van Dijk for the next 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Konate, I think he's a very he takes up a lot of space in the box. He's very commanding
Presence. Yeah,
in
he
the
has
box.
a big presence.
Yeah, and he's young. He's willing to make the extra runs. Cover right back slot that might be open. Everything. He is. He does make the odd mistake here and there, but I think we bought him for somewhere between like 40 to 60 million.
Mm-hmm.
Quite. He's still in his like mid 20s, early 20s.
Yeah.
So he's still got a long way to go, career wise. I would like him to stay.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we can keep Konate and then get Gahey and the new defender that we have, I think that would be a perfect situation for the club. If we lose Konate, I think having Gahey is a very smart switch because Gahey is not old. He's still long. He's got at least probably like another 8 to 10 years in his career.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like this could be his destination club where he could retire at Liverpool. I think he's good enough to do that, to stay in the leading position, especially with Van Dijk leaving in 2 years. So.
Yeah. All right, nice,
Yeah.
nice. Which this brings back, or this kind of transitions to the next question that I have.
Mhm.
Who do you think will be the standout player for your team this season? Who's gonna rise up? Is it gonna be Salah again? Carrying the team, or is it gonna be someone else that steps up and kind of takes that, stardom? I
I
guess.
I think Salah will. I think his numbers will be hurt a little bit in terms of goals. He might be able to provide more assists. Um, Frimpong was just declared
Injured, no? Yeah.
uh, injured, yeah, until the end of September. So maybe we might have a little bit of a change in system. Salah can play his old position that he was playing last year, which would give him more space, maybe score more goals. The way that he played in the opening game, obviously he scored a goal, but it was like a last minute counter attack. The other team overcommitted. But when the teams are like, settled, they got their four at the back, five at the back, they're not overexposing themselves with attack. The new way that we're playing is not giving Salah enough space.
I
So I
agree.
think that, and obviously, like, if you have to restrict Salah so he doesn't score and assist all the goals that he does, because he's very pivotal to most of the actions we have. So I think with that pressure on him, and it'll attract defenders, it'll open up space on the other wing. And even though I said wing, I think the standout player will be our new striker that we have, Ekatike.
Yes,
Like,
he looks
scored
really
in the
good.
opening game. Yeah, he scored in the opening game of the season. Scored in the Community Shield. But the reason why I mentioned wing is because he always likes to cut in from the left wing and run from left to right into the center positions.
Yeah.
And he's very good at doing that. And then having him and Gakpo, who are, seen as underrated when it comes to which one of the three would you mark? You'd mark Salah. You've got the other two, and their gameplay together is very smooth. Very, you don't know which one of them is going to run on the wing, which one's going to cut inside, which I think is a nightmare for defenders. And I think if we can continue to hone in on that with our strong center mids, controlling the play and then passing the balls out wide, controlling the play back in, finding the times for our strikers to get the ball. I think Ekatike could be massive. I think that answer would change if we get Isak, because then I think Isak would be the one to take
Yeah.
most of the game time, and he does similar runs from left wing into the right to go into the center, and he's a very good ball carrier, very big frame, which would help with our wing backs, crosses and everything. So I think whoever plays striker for us will have the biggest effect this season. Right now, Ekatike, if later Isak, I think with the transfer saga that's going on, he may or may not make it this year. But I have full confidence that Ekatike will be the game changer for us
Okay.
almost every game.
Okay. Ekitike. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll be honest. He did look really good. He looks like a baby Isak. If I were to compare him.
Yeah,
And in that
exactly.
first game, and we were actually Chelsea were actually in for him. I don't know if you saw transfer news during the transfer window. We ended up going with
Yeah,
Joao Pedro, which I really
yeah,
like. But
yeah,
he would have been my pick if we couldn't get Joao Pedro. He would have been my pick to go for as another
Mhm.
striker. Ekatike. He looks really good. Nice. That's a good answer. Let's pivot our way to the next question, which after you mention those things, now what is your actual prediction for your team this season? Where do you guys think you'll finish? Are you gonna go back to back? Are you gonna win the Champions League? Are you gonna win any other cups? Are you not gonna win anything? Go trophyless like Arsenal? What do you, what are you gonna do?
I think top two minimum.
Mhm.
I think that's where our season's going. I think everyone's on about if we get Isak, we'll win the league and everything. I think honestly, if we get another center back in, maybe it's Mark Gahey, or we need a fourth center back, right? We have the 18-year-old new guy, but the Premier League always takes some time to getting used to.
Mhm.
We have Van Dijk, we cannot rely on him, and we have Konate, who's in his prime right now. I think if we get another center back in, I think I could tell you we'll win the league. Um, because we are playing to fight it on all four fronts. So we've got Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Champions League, and Prem. Um, and we have in January most likely we'll be missing Salah for AFCON, so that'll be a big hit.
That's big, yeah.
We'll need to rotate some players on that right wing. Slot has come out and mentioned that Frimpong can play right wing, so we might play there. But then we'll have one less player to play in defense at right back, And then I think I don't want to drag one of our center backs to be that rotation player to play out there. I don't mind Joe Gomez going on to the right, but then that would leave a gap, and that would make Van Dijk and Konate have to play every game. Especially that December, January period is very busy in the Prem.
Yeah.
So I think if we get a center back, I'd say first. If we don't get another center back in, or maybe like a cover CDM who can switch between CDM and center back, who's got a big build, fast, pacey, understands positional play well, then I think we might get second in the league because we're going to score goals, but we're also going to concede a lot.
Yeah.
And if the Champions League goes well, I think we'll go all out in that. And we'll rotate for the cups, but as soon as we make round of 8 or higher, we'll then be playing with our full team. So it's going to be a lot of fatigue. I have no worries about our midfield or our strikers. My worries about our back four because the back four that's behind that, the second string back four, is not the same level. And I think with the lack of game time that they'll have this season, because they'll be coming in as rotational players every 2 or 3 matches, they'll play one match.
Mm-hmm.
And with that lack of consistent game time, they won't be up to speed. And I think the Prem is it's gotten a lot faster, a lot more physical.
Yeah,
System, the new managers have really, and it doesn't matter what team you're in. You remember from the last place team to the first place team, every manager knows what they want. They're well experienced, and they take that into their teams, and everyone is well drilled. So if they see a cheat in your armor, they overexpose that like crazy.
If you look at Sunderland, they come out from the championship and they throw a punch. They throw a punch to West Ham. It's insane. It just shows you the competition level in the Premier League, basically.
Yeah, and they got every type of goal against West Ham. They got corner, they got open play, they got counterattack. It's every team is capable. So you can't come and not be ready. And then if you're going to use rotation players, they have to be up to that level.
Okay.
So I don't want to be using our standard regular starters and they're just tired. It's even worse than using a rotation.
Yeah, I agree with you. That makes sense. That makes sense. So it depends on the what you do in the rest of this transfer window, basically. Which a lot could happen, to be honest. You're linked with Isak. You're linked with Rodrigo. Also, I've heard that was one of the things. His agent was in Liverpool talking with him and Arsenal. But you do, like you said, you need a center back based on that first game. I think that first game kind of told us how the season's going to go for Liverpool. They're going to be very good attacking wise, but in transition, they're not going to be, very hard to break down. And that's going to be their Achilles heel, basically, because if they don't fix that or find a way to shore up that defense, it's going to be a tough season for them. So yeah, I get what you mean. The reason I mentioned that CDM center back kind of type player is because we didn't have Gravenberch in that first match because he was having a suspension. That's true.
So without our holding midfielder that's used to holding, like McAllister's used to bombing forward, Jobosly is used to going forward, Wirtz is not a defensive player. So those two counterattacks, we had no midfielders. They didn't exist while we were in counterattack. They were all in the box. So we need someone like a Gravenberch backup, clearly, since we can't field anyone like him. And Endo isn't the same. So for long term, if we can get like a CDM who can also play center back, I think that would be perfect.
Like the Fabinho archetype. That's basically what
Fabinho archetype. Yeah.
That's
he fit in well. He saved that season when we had so many injuries. He kind of saved us.
I agree with you. Okay. Before we go into the next question, kind of, want to take your take on the new signings that you guys had so far this season. Wirtz and who else? I think Ekitike. Not sure if you guys saw Kirkez, Frimpong. Yeah, Kirkez was one of the best left backs in the season last year, and did finish in the team of the year, I believe. That was called recently. Yeah. And the potential of maybe signing Isak, Gay. Give me your take on those signings that you already did and the signings that you are potentially going to make if it happens. And do you want them to happen? Are they necessary to win, or do you think you got enough right now? I know you already mentioned you need a center back, so that kind of I understand where you're coming from with the center back. But with the links that you have, I don't think you were linked to anyone outside of those 3 names that I listed: Isak, Rodrigo, and Gehi. So
Yeah,
let's say best case scenario, you get those two out of those three, which Isak and Gehi. I don't really think Rodrigo's gonna end up going to you. I think Man
I
City
don't think
are
so.
Man City gonna
Yeah, I
try to
think
sell Savino to Tottenham,
Tottenham.
and
Yeah,
that
I think it's and then I think confirmed today. Eze just went to Arsenal, so I don't think they're gonna get a left winger.
yeah. So Rodrigo's
Rodrigo, yeah,
probably going to Man City. Um,
yeah,
as it stands. But yeah, give me your
potentially.
take first of all on the signings that you made, and then we can
Yeah.
transition to the.
Well, I'll start from the bottom of the team to the top. We have a new goalie. We signed him last season, but he was loaned back out, so he's back here. I think he played for Valencia, Mohamed Hamza.
Okay.
But I think term goalkeeper, I think this guy's amazing. I think I don't think he's gonna play that much this year because we have Allison.
Mm,
But the fact that we have a starting goalkeeper as our backup goalkeeper,
that's
that's just
that's
fantastic.
crazy. Yeah.
I think in center back, the new 18-year-old kid, I think he can build into the league. The fact that, like I said before, he's bodying Lukaku. I think
Yeah.
he's up for it physically. So he'll just learn the technical skills quick and start playing. Both of our new fullbacks, Kirkez, Frimpong, they're very attacking, which is a little
Yes.
worry as we've seen from the opening
That's what I was
season.
gonna ask you. You know, they look like they are both the Trent Alexander Arnold type of fullbacks. You know,
Yeah,
Robertson when you had him did defend, so he was very good defensively. That's kind of what
right, right.
made him stand out as a fullback. But do you think I think Kerkaz can play good defense based on what he
Yeah,
showed last season, but it was also
mm,
with a not a similar team in terms of competitiveness with Liverpool. You know, he was
yeah.
where was he again? I don't really recall what team he was on.
Kirkez?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he was good. But yeah, let me know your take on that.
I think Slot will use Kirkez as a person who makes deep runs from left back, as opposed to Frimpong, who will start high.
Okay.
So obviously, when you're in build up, everyone's close to the goal, have your build up play and everything. But then I think once we're in the opposition box, I think Salah will tuck in or stay out wide to double on the opponent's left back, and Kirkez will kind of stay kind of like in that like mid kind of left back role, not too high up starting off because we already have Gakpo out there on the wing, just kind of waiting to cut in or drive through. But I think and he played like that for Bournemouth as well. He would like on counterattacks, he would pick up the ball on left back and then drive with it. So he's a very good driver with the ball.
Mhm.
And we have a lot of ball carriers in the team now. We have Frimpong, we have Salah, we have Gravenberg, extremely good ball carrier through the center. We now have Kirkez, we have Gakpo. Akatike has shown that he can drive with the ball, but I think it's going to be very compact in the middle. We have a lot of wide wingers that can drive with the ball if there's space.
Mhm.
So I think Slot will probably use Kirkez as a deep left back who makes runs. Frimpong will start, he would just stay forward the whole time to put pressure there, which means that Gravenberg will hold on the right side most likely, McAllister to the middle, giving a lot of space for Florian Wirtz, who I
Yes,
think in
that's what we need
Germany,
to talk
in Germany,
about.
yeah,
He's a big one we
they
need to talk about.
massive one. I mean, massive price tag, lots of pressure. Um, he does have the occasional injury. I think when he was a teenager, he had the ruptured ACL. So the fact that he's playing this way with this confidence now is crazy good. And in Germany, he's known for finding space,
Mhm.
always finding space, no matter how compact the team is. And he showed that he didn't make a big impact on the Community Shield, the Prem game. Um, against Bournemouth, but he finds space well. He's a good facilitator. He won't play that pass before the pass, but what he will do is just disrupt the formation, the defensive formation that teams have. And I think as he finds his feet, plays more games, I think he'll start to have a box presence and be
Mhm.
able to link up play a lot better. He'll give a lot more freedom for McAllister to get into the box if he wants to. I think Gravenberg should only stay, in the midfield area. I hope he doesn't, join everyone else and join the
otherwise,
box.
otherwise everyone's going
We're
up.
we're cooked if we got 9 players in the box and just leaving one or two guys in the back. Uh,
Yeah.
but I think the midfield balance is good. I think because those two are kind of like McAllister's kind of like trying to link up play creatively. with the deep runs that Kirkes does, and then Gakpo cutting inside. So that's like a triangle on the left side. That's pretty good. Like a TK sometimes overloads on the left side, so that's crazy numbers. And then Florian Wirtz on top of that will also go to left side. So we got 5 players on the left side sometimes. Whereas on the right, we just have Salah and Frimpong, and Gravenberch is usually holding. So it's really really important for our number 10, which is going to be Florian Wirtz most of the time. I think sometimes it'll be Jobosai as well, to like connect some of the play through that right side. So they got a lot of running to do, but he's very well known for finding space, for creating space, for tight ball control as well, which is important. We win us some free kicks, get us up the field if we have any pressure. So I think that's really important, and his football IQ is very good. For someone that's that young, I think he's played plenty of games to like to kind of understand how the flow of football is. So even though he's quite young, he really understands.
He has experience.
How like, defensive teams are adjusting during the game. He doesn't need someone to tell him what's going on. He can like read that pretty well. So I think that's really important to unlocking the center of the pitch for us, which we don't really aren't able to use a lot because a lot of teams are trying to close that to prevent all of our players that are cutting in.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting.
And then I think the last player that we got is Ekitike right now.
Yeah.
I said before, I think he's going to be our standout player.
Nice.
He's very good on the ball. Makes very, very good runs. Can hold up play. Can run in behind. Can link up play very well on the left side. I think he's already starting to build a relationship with Florian Wirtz. I mean, he's already been assisted by him twice, I think now.
Yeah.
So I mean, could go very well. I think it'll be overkill if we get Isak, but at the same time, a lot keeps saying we don't have a backup striker, and
I've heard that a lot. Even Van Dijk came out and said, you guys are short in strikers.
So I don't think that. I think they want someone with a good build, who's tall, who can get on the end of headers, who's agile. I think Isak fits that perfectly. I don't think he wants to play Gakpo in because it would ruin his ability to dribble very well, because he's very good from cutting in from left side and cutting in or joining in the overlap with whoever's our left back. So that would take away his strong point. So I don't think he wants to use him as a striker. And we do not have anyone that is taller than 6 foot. In the club that could play in the striker role. So I think it might be important to get another striker. I think Isak is overkill because that would kind of destroy any momentum that Ekitike could build throughout the season.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to fit those two unless you play them together. That's another.
Play them together. I think Hugo can play instead of Gakpo on the left side, rotate them regularly. But it's just so odd to me to like buy some. Obviously, like we've earned the right to buy like how we have and everything over the last couple of years of being financially smart. To buy someone for 80 million and put him on the bench is just crazy. I just don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay.
And it's been really promising. The only thing that I think he could be doing is what Pep did when he won those 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Just like not assigning starter, like important role or like backup or anything. He's just going to use everyone and just rotate them regularly. So he won't give anyone more than 60 to 70 minutes a game, and we'll just rotate. So you have like starters and finishers.
Yeah.
So he start Isak, and then at minute 60, 65, put in Hugo, like a TK, and then the next game swap that around and just use them regularly. So the injury prevention is like at an all-time, like low. So we're not.
Yeah, manage the team basically.
Injuries, yeah, especially since we want to compete on all 4 fronts.
Nice.
We'll see how that goes. But I wouldn't mind just having like an ordinary striker as a backup. Someone who has played Champions League before and just understands the role of linking up and just being in the box presence.
Hey, we have Nico Jackson available, brother. If you
No, sir. No, sir. That guy is not a dribbler. Horrible first touch on the regular, and I don't need another Darwin Nunez. I'm sorry.
I'll give him one thing. He is a dribbler. I'll give him one thing that he has. He's a good dribbler, good connecting. But anything else, he does not have. He does not have finishing. He does not have ball striking. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's sad. That's a striker. They still have ball strike.
Hey, that's why we went and signed 2 strikers, man, this summer, because
No,
we
no.
saw what he did last season and the season before, and then along with the brain, the brain headed the dumb moves that he did towards the end of the season, where he got 2 red cards in 3 games that kind of cost us big. It could have cost us Champions League if we didn't really win that game last season. Towards the end. But yeah, enough of Nicholas Jackson. He's gonna be out of my club, hopefully, so I don't have to worry about him very soon.
That's a good thing. He's a good player, but he needs to play on a team that's more counterattacking, not possession based.
You know what? I think he would he would thrive basically if he gives up his striker position. If he decides to play winger, I could see him
maybe
going like a left winger, because he dribbling wise very good. Taking on players very good, but he has no I think link up is also very good. So he could do very well as a winger. He just doesn't have any shooting, finishing to kind of get himself up there. But yeah, let's transition to the next question that I have. Which rival club do you love to hate the most, and why?
City, straight up. Manchester.
That was a quick answer.
Oh, don't even get me started on. Oh, man.
Hey, I mean, I agree. I agree. You guys did have that crazy rivalry between Pep and Klopp for all those years.
92 points, 97 points, and we didn't even win the league. That's crazy. And now we got Arsenal crying about getting 85 or 80, 81 points, and they haven't won the league. Oh, man.
You got Arteta lying about stats, saying, they had the most points the last 3 seasons, but apparently they didn't. It was Man City that did. But okay, Man City. I see that. Yeah,
I hate them out of respect, because they have pushed us to our limits, and they took away trophies that we could have won. And then also there's the whole thing about financial fair play and the 115 breaches and everything like that. So it makes it even worse. That it's like they were cheating and we couldn't. Like that's insane. Whether they're cheating or not, it's not confirmed. Some of the breaches are just financial. They're gonna pay it off. That's the way the world works. They got a lot of money. That's also something that annoys me, is they have a lot of money.
Okay.
And they do a lot of, from what I've heard, like a lot of
shady business.
Side business to increase their revenues and stuff, and that's just not something that we can afford, especially with our owners, being very to the book and everything.
Yeah.
They literally starved us of signings for a year and a half, and now they're like giving us everything all of a sudden. You know what I mean? They're following the rules, they're doing everything the right way, the smart way. I think City, when they signed very well. I like the players that they signed. I like Pep Guardiola is the best manager in the world. But I think they buy their way out of situations more often than other teams do. Every team buys, but I think they buy their way out of their problems very often. And then sometimes they'll just buy someone for 50 and use them as a bench player. Come on.
Yeah. That's been happening. Yep. I think one of the examples is Nico Gonzalez, that they bought him. And then they sold, or I don't know if they even plays anymore, but they do have owners. Yeah, they do have a tendency of doing that.
You don't see them, they're great players, and you just don't see them.
Yeah.
They come in for that time when someone's injured, or maybe they're having a bit of a crisis. Someone has a confidence hit, whatever, and then the next season comes along, and then he's loaned out. Oh, he's not good enough anymore. Just tell him.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, it does pay to be the greatest or the best manager in the world. I mean, he has earned the right to get all these signings based on what he did. But I do agree, it is excessive, the amount of signings they do, and the amount of signings that don't work out. So I do agree. But yeah, that was an inch.
They also pipped us for the. That season when we had, I think it was Suarez and Raheem Sterling. They pipped us to the league.
Yeah.
On the last couple of days.
Yes.
And there were a couple refereeing. Obviously, there's no VAR back then, but there were a couple refereeing situations, a couple offsides that were not offside that would have won us the league then. But I think our rivalry kind of started then, when that was they won the league then, and we kind of bottled it at the end.
I think that's one of the the most recent modern era rivalries that I've seen. It wasn't really a rivalry before. I don't think City really had any rivals. They didn't have any.
Before 2013, they were just like
They,
a
yeah,
random club,
they didn't really
and
have any history like that to back them up.
undisputed.
Yeah. So I get what you mean. All right. Let's move on to the next question. We kind of already discussed transfers. We discussed things like that. This question is a broad general question. If you could sign any player on your team right now, it could be any player in the world, who would it be? Not past players, just current players. Any player that you love to watch, even if it doesn't make sense, even if it doesn't fit the team financially, or doesn't fit the positions you already have those filled. If you could have any player right now in the world, who would you have?
I think. Well, I know you said like even if we have a player there.
Yes.
I still want to fill in a gap that we currently have, which is center back, and I would say Bastoni.
Bastoni. Oh my God, he is insane.
Yeah, he's quite the attacking center back, which I think would be exciting to watch. But he's also a physical presence, very good pace, understands like the tactical nuances of if I take in a midfield role, how do I play? If I move onto the wing, like the guy plays everywhere. You know what I mean? and at the same time, very good at being a center back.
He would be the perfect Van Dijk replacement, or successor, basically. Yeah,
I think so. I think it would be fun to see how he just shuts down all the attacks and all the counterattacks. Whether he chooses to step off or just engage with the attack or step in, just be ruthless.
Okay.
I think that would be a nice addition, because I think I've seen a lot of attacking.
You know good attacking
talent.
Yeah,
I want to see some defensive excellence. You know what I mean?
Some good defense. I respect it. All right. Let's go on to the next question. We have a couple questions here, and then we'll move on to the next round of the segment that we have. What is the most heartbreaking moment you've experienced as a fan, as a Liverpool fan? Kind of like broke you, made you sad, disappointed you. I don't think there's been that many recently. You guys have been very good, but also, you could tell me your experience on that.
I think we have, I'd say two moments when Gerrard slipped and Demba Ba scored.
Very good moment for us Chelsea fans.
That was a very pivotal part of that season that we ended up losing the title. The funny thing is, when he gathered the team together, I think it's fake. He gathered the team together. Yeah, I think you know where I'm going with this. And he was talking to the team, and
we do not let it slip.
Do not let this slip. We fight as hard as we can, and lo and behold, he physically slips, and we could see the goal. So that's fantastic. I think the more modern version of that would be when we lost the Champions League final to Madrid. First time we played in the Champions League.
Mohamed Salah injury, yeah.
Mohamed Salah getting injured after all, like the amazing season that he had. And then on top of that, like Sadio Mane had some great chances, and Courtois decided to become goalie of the year out of nowhere. So like we played a very good game. We were just unlucky, and then we got counterattacked by Real Madrid's just randomness. What's the meme that they have? The power of friendship is their tactic. They just run around and just hope that they just exploit some opening and yell at me. Let's go. Score a goal.
Yeah. Okay.
Completely random. But yeah, we ended up losing that game. And then Loris Karius is really concussed, and then just ref doing nothing about it. Sergio Ramos just ramming into him after already destroying Salah. He then just rammed into him.
I don't know if I recall that. Was that the game that he gave away a goal to Benzema?
Benzema,
yeah. That was rough, man. You had to deal with Karius brain farts, and you had to deal with Salah getting injured after that incredible season you had. So that is understandable. I get what you mean. And finally, last question in terms of these segment questions that we are talking about. If you had to sum up being a fan of Liverpool in one word, what would it be?
exciting.
Okay. Nice. Yeah.
I think we've got potential for goals. We also got potential for disasters. So
You never know what you're gonna get.
you don't know what you get in, but you know that the game's going to be entertaining for sure. So
I have to agree that I don't think I've ever watched a Liverpool match, especially against big clubs. Usually, big clubs, they tend to be more secure in their gameplay. They don't want to lose. They don't want to lose points. Some of the worst games I've seen were Chelsea against Man United games because they never live up to the hype of that rivalry. But I can't say the same thing about Liverpool. Liverpool, every game that I watch, especially rival games, big games, it's always a banger. It's always a big game. It's always goals. It's always controversies. Always, red cards. It's what football is about. So I do see why you said exciting. So I respect that. All right, nice. Let's go on to the next segment of our show, which is the quick fire round. So I'm gonna ask you a couple questions here, quick fire. You just tell me the answer based on the first answer that comes to your head, basically. Okay.
All right.
So we'll start with a big one here. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just go down the list, not stopping. You give me the answer. We're not gonna really take a big take on each one. Yeah. Just give me the answer, and we'll go from there. All right. All right. Here we go. Quick fire round. Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi.
Home kit or away kit?
Home kit.
Winning 1-0 or winning 5-4?
5-4.
VAR, keep it or scrap it?
Keep it.
Manager on the touchline, suit or tracksuit?
Tracksuit.
Winning a cup final on penalties or a 90th minute winner?
90th minute.
Star striker or world-class keeper?
Star striker.
Nike boots or Adidas boots?
Nike.
Golden boot or Ballon d'Or?
Ballon d'Or.
And bicycle kick goal or last-minute free kick?
Free kick. Ooh.
All right, good answers. I like that. All right, that was our quick fire round. Very good answers there. I like how you said Messi right away.
Yeah. No, I ain't messing about there, bro.
No hesitation. No
I had
hesitation.
respect to Ronaldo, and I give him his credit. The guy worked his socks off,
Yeah.
Legendary. But Messi's just born with it. He's just smooth.
He's just
play in the pockets. He understands the game so well. It's just
I
very
completely agree with you. I still don't understand how those two are even rivals. Because in my opinion, I understand Ronaldo winning, scoring, right? But
yeah.
I'm sorry, man. Ronaldo does not touch the boots of Messi in his prime. It's just there's just a lot more that Messi brings to the table that, if you don't see it with your eyes as a football fan, you need to get checked. You need to go to the doctors. Yeah. He's just,
like you're saying.
He's still doing it in the MLS, and for some reason, I still think he's gonna do it next year. I have this weird feeling. I have this weird feeling that he's still gonna pop off next year in the World Cup, and they have a good chance of repeating. Believe it or not.
So, they could.
Yeah, very, very good answer. All right, and then the last segment of our show here, it's a past and present quick fire comparison. Okay, so I'm gonna just give you past and present players, and you tell me which one you would take, and we'll see what you think. Okay, so this is Liverpool 2005 Champions League team against present day team here 2025. All right. Steven Gerrard or Alexis McAllister?
Gerrard.
All right. Jamie Carragher or Virgil van Dijk?
Van Dijk.
Xabi Alonso or Dominic Szoboszlai?
Alonso.
And Peter Crouch or Hugo Ekitike?
Still early in his career, but I'd say Ekitike.
All right. John Arne Riise or Milos Kerkez?
Riise.
All right, and then last one is 2005 Champions League win in Istanbul or 2025 Premier League title if you could win it this year.
No, 2005 Istanbul. That 3-0 comeback and then winning on Pez, insane.
All right. Good answers. All right, and then we come to the end of our show. Usually, I have a signature question to ask. It's a tradition that I will be running. Since this was the first episode, you get to be the first guest to answer it. And this is going to be the closing question to the show. First of all, I appreciate you stopping by. You've been a very good guest. Looks like a very great Liverpool fan as well. I wish you guys nothing but the best this season. But not better than Chelsea. You know, I can't wait to play you guys. It's gonna be crazy.
Hey, we're in all the same competitions now, so exciting season.
Yep. It's gonna be a very good season. But yeah, here we go. The final question, signature question of Offside Fans. If you could sit down for dinner with one past or present player from your club, who would it be?
Gotta be Salah.
Gotta be Salah. Yes. What do you think that conversation will be like?
I mean, he's lived through our transition from a mid-table team to barely making Champions Leagues and now title. Now title favorites, before just title contenders.
Yeah.
So he's seen the progression of the whole team. So I would kind of ask, how that experience was.
What would you talk about? What would you ask him? You could ask him anything.
I mean, I'd ask him, how have you seen, from 2016 all the way until now, how different has the team been in terms of preparation for the league, ambitions, how do you do you approach things differently, or have you seen from manager to manager, have you seen different kind of I don't even know, just the way that they prepare the club, right?
Yeah.
I see a lot of the behind the scenes videos for the club. The places that they dine at, or they go to play games at, or they just talk about tactics and everything. It looks different, and also from over 10 years ago, but it also feels different. I feel like the players are a lot more relaxed.
Yeah.
Even though they're all more professional than the players were 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. Even more so 5 years ago, when Klopp was still rebuilding the team and getting up to where the platform that we're at right now. So I kind of ask him about those changes and what really stood out to him as a player, but also as someone as part of the organization. And I'd also ask about what's the secret, apart from the physical work that you do, to just being this good for so long, the longevity, of it. Obviously there's a lot of physical work, nutrition, rest. That's the main athlete kind of thing that every athlete kind of focuses on. But obviously there's something there mentally that he does, and I've heard a couple interviews that he's done about the mental work that he does, but he never goes in too much detail.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to know the extra detail,
Okay.
and what got him into that realm a lot more than other players.
Yeah. Finding the secrets. I think that would be
a nice long conversation.
Nice. That's a good one. Yeah. Very good one. Well, this concludes our show. As always, it was a very, very good episode. We would love having you here. I loved having you here, man. Very good episode. Very good insights. You had a lot of great answers to a lot of great questions. I'm glad to have you as the first special guest here. Do you have anything to say towards the end before we conclude?
Thanks for having me. It's an honor to be the first guest, and I hope the podcast, rises and rises. And I look forward to seeing what the other guests have to say.
Nice.
Seeing how delusional everyone else is this year.
Yep. I can't wait to see other Liverpool or other Premier League fans on here. But
yeah. And hopefully, if there's time, way down the line, I'll come back, and we can revise our answers and see, change my mind on hand out players and expectations and all that stuff. But it's an exciting year. I think the Prem is getting stronger every single year, and I think a lot of people will have a lot of hopes.
Yeah.
and there are genuine like there's like a handful of contenders for European spots for the title. So I think it'll be a good year. I think there's a lot to talk about in this podcast.
Yeah.
And again, thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. Before I let you go, I just want to get
Mm.
your prediction on some accolades and some finishes in the league. So if you can give
All
me
right.
your top 5 finishes. So here, the way we're gonna do it, you give me your top 5 teams that will finish in the Champions League. Give me the 3 teams that will get relegated, that you think will get relegated. Golden Boot,
All right.
Ballon d'Or, maybe. I don't know if we want to talk about Ballon d'Or yet, and Champions League winner. I feel like those are the main ones that people really talk about. So let's start off with who do you think your top 5 will be in the Premier League?
I think if the transfer window goes how I think it will go, Liverpool 1, City 2, Arsenal 3, Chelsea 4. A big part of me wants to put Chelsea 3, Arsenal 4, but I think Arsenal will just have a really good defense this year. I think once Champions League starts, it'll be a bit crazier for City and maybe Chelsea. I don't know. We'll see. That's a 4, and I think the 5th team will be. Oh, it's a big one here.
That is a big one.
It's between Tottenham or United, and I think.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one, and the fact that the window hasn't closed yet.
Yeah,
some transfers.
If Tottenham do the deals I think they'll do in midfield and winger, I think they'll be the ones to get 5th.
Okay.
I think United as is good and everything, but I think they'll get figured out defensively at some point, and then
I don't think they will jump. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think they will jump from whatever they was 17th or 18th. No, sorry, it was 16 or something.
16th, yeah. I think.
Yeah, to top 5 or they probably finish. They'll probably finish in Europe though.
They're the only team that isn't playing in Europe right now.
That's also true.
So they got a lot of time in between every single game week to figure out their attack, and then the defensive unit, how they're gonna respond to transitions against them and everything. I just don't think they have the center backs to really
to push
consistent.
Yeah,
really consistently win a bunch of games on the run. I think they have the attack for it, but they're all new, like all 3 of them. You know, what I mean? Sheshko, Cunha, and Buemo. So that's gonna take like at least like 10 games or something to get used to. Figure out who's making the runs, who's providing the assists, who's making the dummy runs to open space. They all want to score because they were all scoring in their previous teams. So someone's gonna have to bite the bullet there. And I think that'll take some time, which will kind of affect how they can push. But I think they'll really pick up momentum at the end of the year, unless it goes horribly wrong and Amorim gets fired.
Yeah,
but I think that's
I don't think they can afford to fire another manager that quick. They have to bite the bullet and kind of like take their time. And but yeah, that's an interesting top 5. Let's move on to your Golden Boot winner in the Premier League. Who do you think will be the Golden Boot winner?
I mean, with the system that we play now, I don't think Salah will get it. I think he'll come close. I think it might be Haaland.
Haaland, that's a very good shout. Very good shout. He already started his account. He looked very good the first game. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think with the defense sorted out for City, I think they'll have more time on the ball, which will help Haaland.
All right, nice. Next one, I didn't list that one, but who do you think the Golden Glove will go to?
Golden Glove, ooh, that's a good one. I think Raya.
I think it's a big show.
If they're gonna win the league, it's by conceding the least amount of goals.
Yes.
I think having Eze now is pretty nice. It's a big upgrade to Trossard. But I'm not sold on Gyökeres. I don't think he fits their system as well as they think he could.
I think Sheshko would have been better, or Sesko if he would have been a better.
I think so.
He would have been a better fit.
I think so as well.
All right, and then the last 2 would be the relegation teams before we go to the other.
I think last place Burnley.
I can see that.
Yeah, I think second to last place is Leeds. Even though they won, but I didn't agree with that penalty shout against Everton, but whatever. They won the
Yeah.
first game. I don't think they have a full squad to last the whole season. And then I think Sunderland will survive. I think Brentford will go down.
Brentford. That's a shout.
They've decimated their whole team. I mean, they've lost their manager. They've lost the entire backroom staff that comes with him, or most of the backroom staff. They lost their club captain. They lost their top scorer. Like, bro, what's going on?
They've been rated, to be fair. They've been rated.
Yeah, they have.
They've
been rated, and at the same time, they haven't really signed enough players. They had a few players that were injured, like season-long injuries last year, that are coming back, so I think they're going to rely on them. But also making your set-piece coach your main coach after your head coach for 20 years or something leaves, I think there's going to be some gaps in terms of just general management or game management of Prem matches, which will let them down. I think they'll be around the 15th or under spot for the entire season, honestly.
Okay, good show. All right, and then the last two would be the Ballon d'Or winner for this next year.
This next year, Ballon d'Or winner.
It might be too early to call it, but
yeah, it depends on the Champions League, right? And I'm gonna tie these two together.
Well, the Ballon d'Or still hasn't been announced for last year, right?
Not yet. No. It's
so let's go with that. Let's go with that.
Okay.
Let's go with the Ballon d'Or from last year, which will be announced in January, I believe. So let me know who you think will win. Or September. Is it September or January?
Yeah, you moved it up a lot this year. It's September 22.
Okay. All right. So that's next month.
Yes. It used to be in December, now it's September.
That's insane. Yeah. All right. Who do you think the Ballon d'Or will be for that past season?
I think, by the numbers, I watch him play football, and I don't think he's the world best player, but it's Ousmane Dembele. It's going to have to. I mean, he's won the most trophies, I think, of any player this season. Winning the Champions League with PSG first time ever is phenomenal.
That's insane, yeah.
He had a very good league campaign. I think League One, the numbers there are misleading, but it's still a league is a league, and they did lose it like 2 years ago or something like that. So it's clearly not like a foregone conclusion that they'll win it every year. I feel like there are other players that when I watch them, I feel like they have more impact on their teams when they're playing or when they're not playing. I think Ousmane Dembele does. He switched from being a winger to a pressing forward, and the way that he presses is like phenomenal.
It's insane. Yeah.
It's something like you should like use him as like the epitome of pressing as a forward.
Yeah.
So he sacrificed a lot this year, which I think has given him less like shine in terms of like the elegance of his game, which is what you usually assign to the person who wins the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
But I think that's just me being so used to seeing Ronaldo and Messi win it the rest of the year.
Yeah.
That I've kind of been a bit desensitized to what normal athletes at the high level should be performing at.
It feels very underwhelming, to be honest. That the two that he even though he deserves it. Yeah.
I feel like it's just a bit underwhelming.
Yeah.
Because you're putting them up against the two arguably, in my opinion, the two greatest players of all time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In terms of the modern era of football, we're not talking about Pele and Maradona's time. But yeah, if you the modern day football, like these two are the greatest, hands down. And now that they're gone, not playing in Europe, we're just watching still super hard to do what they do, but it's just not the same level. And so when
do you think anyone will ever come close to what they've done?
I think the closest was Haaland when he didn't win it that year, but he broke every record possible.
Yeah.
Literally
Lionel Messi.
Champions League record, goal scorer, Prem.
And he wasn't even mad about it. That's the crazy thing.
Maybe he didn't win the treble. I don't know what he did, but he won every single individual
everything, and his manager said Messi should win it. That's all that you need to know.
He loves Messi, and obviously the World Cup is like the World Cup. There's nothing that comes
that
close
is
to it.
Also true.
It's the most watched, most loved sporting event in the world. So when you win something like that for the first time, for
you deserve it. Yeah, you deserve it.
And also the storyline was just beautiful for me.
The storyline, man.
So
I still wish. You know what? I still wish in that World Cup final that he banged that last minute shot that he had against Lloris.
Yeah,
Bro,
but they won
imagine
it.
that goes in and he wins off of
Oh,
that. Like, I know the way he won it was still phenomenal, but that
yeah.
goes in. Oh my god. But yeah, let's conclude with the final question. Who do you think the Champions League winner for this season will be?
They have a lot of issues like financially and registration wise. I was really impressed with Barcelona last year.
Yes.
Really impressed. I think that they can go all the way. The only reason why I'm not putting out a Prem team is because I think there's just so much competition in the Prem now. That the attention is going to be very divided. That when you get to the quarterfinals and semifinals of the matches, they'll put all their eggs in that basket at the time. But if the Prem isn't a conclusion by the last like 6 weeks, which I don't think it will be this year, I think it'll be difficult
To rotate.
to put your full 11 for your Prem game. If you're still in the FA Cup by then, your FA Cup game and the Champions League games all at one time, and that'll take a toll, and it'll have to hit on something. And I think Prem is more important for these teams than Champions League, apart from Arsenal because they haven't won it yet, but all the other teams have.
Yeah.
So I think Prem is more important for them, especially over like how long it is and everything. So I think it's a bit of a risk for me, even though they are on paper the best teams in my opinion. I think a Prem team won't win it this year. I think it'll either be Barcelona. Don't think Real Madrid will win it this year. Watch them go and win it. But I think this is a transition year with Xabi Alonso. I think maybe next year they're better contenders.
Yeah.
But I think Barcelona, I really like the way they play.
I think they're
very risky though. Very risky. So that's
they're
the issue.
hit and miss, and they probably should have won it last year if they had.
In my opinion, yeah, I think so too.
If they got past Inter, they would have probably
yeah.
smoked PSG. To be honest, like it would have been a close game, but I still feel like that Lamine Yamal factor, man. You know, he's just above. In my opinion, I don't want to say it, but he's really that close to being the best player in the world. And which is crazy at that age.
If they had won the Champions League, he would have been the Ballon d'Or.
Yes.
And I would have completely. He's very nice to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both, you know, like in terms of getting goals and assisting. It's like a beauty.
Yes.
You know?
He's a little Messi region. He gives us that just a little bit of what Messi used to be like. But yeah, man, it was really fun having you here. As always, guys, I'm Justin Martian. I'm the host of this show. This has been Offside Fans. Please check out Mo here. He has a journey to make it to another Olympic year, hopefully coming up in the next couple of years. And I'll put all his links down. Make sure you check him out. Make sure you follow his journey as a fencer. It was nice. It was really nice having you here, man. And hopefully we'll do it again soon. Maybe we'll have an episode here and there in the future, discuss about more football topics. But yeah, as always, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming to the show. Love the setup that you have behind you, man. It was very nice.
I have this room is littered with fencing equipment all over it. There's like a ton more bags over there. I have a ton of stuff.
Awesome, and hopefully we'll have you back, man.
Yes, sir. No, thanks for having me.
All right.
And I look forward to seeing how this podcast progresses and how the season goes on.
Oh yeah, it's a big season. It's a big season, and we can't wait to see it all unfold. All right. Thank you, my friend.